40 years ago, Communities in Schools was founded on a simple but revolutionary idea that the essential ingredient for children to succeed in life was the presence of a caring adult.
And the minute you inject that personality into their lives, you can have a transforming change.
And since 1977, CIS has kept millions of at-risk students from dropping out by providing a trained, caring professional inside their school. CIS's site coordinators harnessed existing community resources, things like food, clothing, counselors, and tutors, to meet children's basic needs.
When a school district partners with Communities in Schools, we see kids who are confident, kids who are coming to school, kids who are well-fed, kids who don't go hungry over the weekend.
Over the next 2 decades, demand for CIS increased dramatically around the country. Then the organization made a visionary decision. Instead of focusing solely on the growth of its model, it decided to prioritize consistency and quality. So Communities in Schools took the path less traveled in the philanthropy world. It doubled down and conducted intensive evaluations of the CIS model, now known as Integrated Student Supports, to determine what was working. After developing the evidence and proof of its model, CIS began a 7-year process of accrediting CIS affiliates and implemented best practice standards across its nationwide network. The results of this process? We are now serving nearly 20% more students, with 25% less overhead, and producing 35% more graduates each year.
Sometimes it takes 20 years to be an overnight sensation.
And today, after 13 evaluations, the evidence has proven what we've always known. CIS works and provides quality services at scale.
I think for those of us who invest in Communities in Schools, we've gone that extra distance to measure the results of our work. And when we execute with fidelity the CIS program, it shows dramatic results.
And yet, 11 million children are still at risk. 51% of public school students live in poverty. And 88% of teachers believe that student poverty is the #1 barrier to effective learning in the classroom. CIS is in a unique position to make a difference with its proven model, which has now become a critical component of education reform. The Every Student Succeeds Act, passed in 2015, became the first major restructuring of federal education law in over a decade. For the first time in its history, CIS's model of integrated student supports was written into education law, along with other evidence-based interventions. As the leader in this field, CIS now has the opportunity to apply our learning and experience at a broader scale.
That's the model that we can replicate across all of our schools, because at the end of the day, it's good for kids, it's good for families, and we're seeing indicator after indicator of academic success.
For children who need our support, CIS will continue to lead the field as the largest evidence-based provider of integrated student supports. Increase the number of students served across the country. Build the local capacity of communities to advocate for and deliver our model. And lift up the voices of our alumni, who are our future leaders and the faces and voice of the work Communities in Schools does every day.
My name is Ray Saldana, and I'm a San Antonio City Councilman and a first-generation college graduate. But before I was any of those things, I was a Communities in Schools student.
CIS for me is a support system. It's a backbone. It's the core people in my life who I rely on.
I wouldn't be in college if it weren't for the help of CIS.
We understand that when it comes to children's lives, they deserve the best. And we have proven that we provide that to them every day.
We can build a school and build a community where kids know that people care and there's opportunities for success. What I feel more than anything is hope.
I am the young man that stands before you all today, because of CIS and other people believing in me and inspiring me. This is me now.
To learn more, visit communitiesandschools.org.